Hi guys, this is Shane from Grow Pear. It's been a long time since I posted. Probably a lot of conflicts in all our lives at the moment, so we're just getting through those. But anyway, this is 11th of August. It's the afternoon of, and as you can see, I've had apples, early stage apples this year. I had a lot more than that. We've eaten a lot more. Yeah, there's some of the pears. My little greenhouse, which is doing its job. I've cut some sage, pawpaw over there, apricot cuttings there, that's peach cuttings there, and I've got pear cuttings here. There's my other pear tree here. As you can see, the plums all looking good. Those are yellow plums. I've got purple plums aside. From many attacks over the last 2 years from aphids, this year not one. So we're on the right course here. And I've only dealt with composting, guys, composting, regular watering and pruning, and that's the results of all that. No spraying. So we're on a winning wicket there. Apple tree again. I'll tell you what we did suffer early on this year was like a web, like a spider mite that was in the apple trees. Only the apple trees. The pears, they never bothered with. Anyway, here I had cabbage in this garden here. I've eaten all of them. There I had cabbage and onions, eaten all of them. Those are remnants from another line that side. There's onions, that was all onions. This is potatoes still. We've reaped some potatoes, shard. There I had broad beans initially, but they succumbed to black fly. But I won't be growing broad bean again. This is a Jerusalem artichoke, and yeah, we'll reap those towards November. Rhubarb already reaped, but I'm letting that grow now. It can survive. Some more onions growing in there, just a few peas that didn't take off too well. I planted late, but I had to keep planting peas, unfortunately. They kept getting eaten. Carrots have been a good year for carrots. That's what's left of my stock. So strawberries, not such a good year. Still a lot of strawberries, but not like I had last year. So I need to look at what's going on there. This little cherry tree came out of nowhere. So it's going to stay where it is. It's happy to grow there. So I'm going to keep it there. My fig tree, before I go on to the fig tree, I want to just show you guys something. So this is my tomatoes, and it's got new compost in there. When I say new compost, when I planted initially. So, but I've got this problem, and it's not just on the lower fruits. As you can, well, this is not too bad, funny. But on this type of tomato, I've normally got a very bad scar on it, and it's undesirable at best. I might have some fruit to show you on the other side that was toying with me, because I didn't know exactly what it was, because all these tomatoes have had the same compost, a rich compost, and still some have succumbed, but only a type of tomato. So it's just like beefsteak tomato, as you'll see here. Is that scarring there, but it is worse on some of the other ones. I mean, oh my loving, I've probably got some good ones over here. Now that I want to show you a scarred tomato, there's none about. Might be one on that side there. Let's have a look. This, in fact, yeah, this is probably so bad it's, there we go. So that scarring there is a calcium deficiency, which I found eventually out. So I've added in crushed egg. I think crushed eggshells enough. I've added in chicken poo, because chicken poo pellets have got a lot of calcium in them, as well as other good things. Your normal tomato feed lacks calcium, guys. as most of your fertilizers. It's full of nitrogen, full of potassium, that kind of stuff, but it doesn't give the fruit what it should need, and it doesn't build the plant, and it doesn't take care of the soil. Do a proper job, get the calcium in there, get your proper mineral basin. Volcanic mineral ash is what I heard is the best. I have added it to some other plants, and I think I'm getting the results that they advertise. My peach is coming on, so the peach was actually failing, and now it's growing. So that was with a lot of volcanic ash. Cost me a bundle, but there we go. There's some more scarring there again. Unpleasant looking scar. It's kind of akin to watering your tomatoes too much water, too much rain, but it's not. It's a dry scar, and that's calcium. Okay, this is my strawberries again. Like I said, not a good year. I'll have to bump them up with some feed this winter coming. The fig tree, which was a tiny one when I moved in here three years ago, but this is its first fruit. So I've got fruit there, I've got fruit here, and this is, I believe, a yellow fig. If I've taken the right cutting from a tree in Portugal, this should be bearing yellow fruit instead of the traditional purple fruit. I'm looking forward to them. What's left of my beetroot crop. This is the second crop I've had this year, guys, so it's been good. Tomatoes and a mixture of onions. I wanted to see if the onions and tomatoes would grow properly together, and they seem to be doing all right. The onions are still standing upright down there, and still the bulbs are forming despite the shade from the tomatoes. I've fed these tomatoes only now, so we'll see the results. That they got a very yellow leaf, and that's why I boosted their feed, not with tomato feed but with calcium and with chicken pellets. There's a more healthier looking tomatoes. Those are fairly healthy, but the fruit lack the health. Those are tomatoes, not tomatoes, strawberries going in. This trough is an addition to my allotment, guys. Last time I was here, I didn't have this trough, but it's not connected to the main. So this is all water from what I've captured over winter, and additionally added to from a trough up on my neighbour's place over here, which is fed from mains. Here I've got my first peppers, chili peppers, so I'm glad. This is my herbal garden, so this is where I'm working right now, and as you can see, I'm stuck in here working, and so are my other fellow workers. As you can see, we have Mr. B over there, Mr. B over here, some spiders, and everybody participating. Ladybirds playing sentry over there. Can you see him? There we go. So he's making sure that the field's clear of aphids. And then I've just got, there's some more ladybirds here. I've got lots of ladybirds this year, which my first year here, not a soul there. So it's coming on. I've been encouraging wildlife through baths. You know, I've got little bird baths all over the place. I've got frog baths, especially underneath the trees, where they've got added protection. So like I said, this is my herbal garden. I've got evening primrose over here. So this is evening primrose. Tarragon, I think this is, if I remember. Chilies, oregano, beautiful oregano. Parsley, which I've only planted today. Some more chili. Lemon, ribena. And, I forget this one here. I've got to get some notices up so I can remember these herbs, guys. Thyme over here, and this is a beautiful flower to have. Thyme. Thyme's got a very beautiful flower when it flowers. But I'm thinking I need to move that thyme upwards where the sun is, and have my taller herbs aside, because they will compete. The thyme cannot compete. It's more like a ground cover. Yeah, I've got my basil here. I know it's looking ugly. I haven't really cared for it much. Flatleaf parsley again, and this is like a salad. It tastes like cabbage, so you can cook it as like a spinach. Very good, very healthy for you, as long as it's got the nutrients. Everything depends on nutrients, guys. Yeah, I've got my aubergines. I've got some more spearmint here. Spearmint there. They're in pots because spearmint does get out of control. It spreads very rapidly. So I've kept them in these containers just to stop that from happening. My grapes. Sweet chestnut. And you must know what that is. I'll tell you, I'll keep that a secret. See if you guys recognize that tree. It's in the pot, obviously. Sweet chestnut again. That there is pomegranate. So a little toddler, and this is a carob, little carob tree from Portugal too. So anyway, here's my aubergines. Next to tomatoes, next to some more chard and runner beans. This set of runner beans, I've grown them. This is the same plant from 3 years ago. All I do is cover the roots up in winter, and the next summer, next spring, they start shooting. That's all I've done with these runner beans. I haven't planted any more. This is a sage. This is a purple leaf sage. It doesn't contain the flowers, so it's got no flowers. The sage I've got on the other side, I'll show you now, that contains the blue flowers. This one, yeah, which I gave a prune because it got quite big. It was, in fact, very big. And again, you can see my guardians all around, looking after the spiders all over the place. Tayberries, this has come a long way since I last showed you this part of the land. So that's my tayberries. Gem squash again, guys. There we go. And they got this yellow tinge again, a mineral deficiency. So it requires a lot of feeding here, down here too. And I have fed them, so I'm just waiting for the results to come out. But last year I was a bit late in feeding them and I lost the crop. But having lost the crop, I still got a fair amount of crop from it. My gem squashes were beautiful last year, as they are this year. So that's gem squash. That's the size of it. I mean, you can see the size. Nice size gem squash. And my blackberries here. Again, I've got a very big wasp over there. It's the first time I've seen a wasp like this. The size of that fella. Anyway, he's not doing me any harm, so he can stay. So yeah, we go. And I've got this kind of squash here. Very weird, but it's staying. It's doing good. That came from Turkey, from heirloom seed pack. It's all good. Blackberries or blackcurrants I've had plenty of. Mulberry I haven't had a lot of mulberry. It's a mulberry tree over here. So that will be trimmed down. Again, blackcurrants, English gooseberries, and here's my peach. This is the first fruit I've seen on my peach tree in the 5 years I've had it, so there we go. It was full of fruit, but it suffered, as you can see, peach curl. And feeding it that volcanic ash, hopefully it's coming right. As you can see, I've got nice beautiful leaves now, but we'll see what happens next year. So I've got about 4 fruit on it now. Next year we'll see some more rhubarb, but this is not doing too well. And that's it, guys. This is it's been fairly successful. Berries have been really good this year. The insects are coming on, loads of grasshoppers around, a few frogs. That's my corn. That's my sweet corn. And these seeds are from heirloom plants as well. Okay, so that's what I've also built. 4 cubic meter pallets. I've used pallets for compost now. So, and I do use all this compost up next year. It all goes back on here. As you can see, I've also built borders on these beds. It helps with the grass. I do love grass in between the beds, but I don't like grass inside the beds. It just creates more work. and right now I don't have a lot of time on my hands. It's not a luxury. And that's it. That's what my garden looks like nowadays. I don't know if I showed you the water butt. So what I did was I put a water butt on the end of my tank, on the end of my shed. So that's a 1,000 litre tank. Right, takes rainwater off the roof, obviously, in the tank. And then when I switch it on, here, that hose there runs and feeds the trough, which I showed you earlier. And that's it. And this was the greenhouse. As you can see, it's not big, but it helps me grow my seeds. So it helps the seeds spring to life. There we go. That's all that shed is. And that's all I've got to say today, guys. Regarding everything else, yeah, we're in for a while. 2025. There's my bird bath there, and my hedgehog and frog bath over here. But yeah, chemtrails galore. And a lot of this harping going on. So whatever's in store for us, be prepared. And best wishes to you guys all. Ta-da now. Bye-bye.